Good evening, everyone. This is Rosemary Fox with The Third Eye. And with me tonight, I have a very exciting guest, Kimberly Honnell, and she's from the Orlando area. So anybody listening from Orlando, I hope you'll get to know Kimberly a little better tonight. I also have a fire engine that I can hear in here. Just listen to that, thinking, here we go. I don't know if you can hear it there. Anyway, I want to introduce Kimberly to you. Hi, Kimberly. How are you this evening?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. What's really interesting about this type of photography is that people don't really know anything about it. They may have seen it at a show or a spiritual show or something, and they know nothing about it. So, Kimberly, just one of the questions I wanted to ask you, what was it that made you, what was it that attracted you that you wanted to do this, to make this a job career for yourself? What was it that made you wanted to do this type of photography?
Right. So it's kind of a funny story. I sort of stumbled upon aura photography after a series of events on my path toward my awakening. And to kind of paint a picture for you, I struggled a lot with some undiagnosed anxiety and depression growing up, which sort of shaped how I saw the world as an adult. And that actually led me to start doing imago-based therapy. And that was great for me in terms of understanding sort of self-defeating cognitive behaviors that I had put into place and implemented since a young age. And through that work, I was able to start making sense of the world around me and really understand myself as an emotional being. And, after that helped me a lot, but I still yearned for something more. The imago therapy helped me to understand things on an intellectual level, but I still kind of felt, quote-unquote, stuck. So I continued my search to better understand myself and others and came to meditation and yoga. And those were great tools for helping me understand sort of my mind-body-spirit connection. And at my yoga studio, I saw a flyer for a mind-body-spirit expo. And it was actually through the organizer of that event that I got introduced to Reiki. So with her, I attended my first Reiki circle, and the following day I had my own aura photograph taken for the very first time. And it was just a really amazing experience. The woman pointed out the green healing energy that was coming into my aura and asked me, have you ever had Reiki done? And I thought that was really cool, and I was in awe. I thought it was incredible that, A, the effects of the Reiki could be seen in my aura, and also, B, that a technology existed to capture that energy and provide me with tangible evidence of something so intangible. And so at that point in my life, I kind of took everything I had learned in my journey so far and then took it a step further to understand myself as a spiritual and energetic being. So, I got a few more aura photographs done of my own and got super interested. I started doing research. I actually have a video background, and I'm kind of a techie type person, so the technology behind the aura camera really intrigued me, and I started reading up on the camera and how it worked, and my fiance asked me, out of the blue, how much do you think a camera like that cost? And he actually Googled it and found out, knew they're actually quite expensive, but there was one for sale on Craigslist at a very reasonable price, and I kind of took that as my nudge from the universe to say, I should follow this path and see where it takes me.
Oh, that's wonderful. So one of the questions I know that people that have had Kirlian photography, and I'm not sure if they've had yours done, but I've heard the word Kirlian. Mm-hmm. What's the difference between a Kirlian camera and the camera that you use?
Yeah, I get that question a lot. The short answer is they're similar but different. My understanding of Kirlian photography is that an electrical current is being sent to a photographic plate where, someone can rest their hand or even an object on it. And then the resulting image is an outline of that hand or object. And the outline is understood to be the energetic field or aura. And with my camera, the one that I'm using, it uses biofeedback technology, which is essentially drawing information from two hand sensors rather than sending the electrical current to the sensor. And also the resulting image with my camera is a Polaroid photo where we actually see, the person's face along with their energetic field around them instead of the outline with the Kirlian photography.
So what is it? Why do you feel that having this done, why do you feel it's important to people? Why do you think it's an important thing? I mean, I know that people do these things for fun at expos, but there's more in depth than that. Why do you feel is the real reason that it's a good thing to have done?
Mm-hmm. Well, my whole goal in offering aura photography is to sort of help people better understand themselves. I believe that by understanding our whole selves, which includes, our emotional, spiritual, and energetic selves, we can take better control of our lives and really become conscious creators in our own realities. And since the aura contains information regarding our mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being, there's a lot to be learned through that. And one of the cool things about the aura photographs is, like I said earlier, they take something intangible such as the aura and make it concrete, an actual physical image we can hold and look at. So for those of us who haven't honed our aura vision, we have a means to see that energy around us and then take that information and expand our self-awareness, do some self-exploration, and in turn grow as human beings. Also, the aura photographs can help us understand if we're on the right path in this moment of our life, or if maybe we need to redirect, based on the colors, the vibrancy, and formations found in the photos, we can see if we're moving toward balance or away from it. And one final benefit that I want to mention is the camera's ability to sort of show us energetic blocks or areas where energy may not be flowing as freely. This is important because I believe that anything that manifests physically, mentally, or emotionally first starts energetically. So if we can spot those energetic blocks early on, we can hopefully avoid their manifestations in other areas of our life.
So you mentioned earlier here that you'd had a few photos done. You'd had a couple of photos done. So what you're saying is if I'm not doing too well and I have one of these photos done, and then when I'm progressing, my aura is going to change to show me that I'm getting well or healthier. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good way to sort of, I tell people it's like a progress report of your energy. You can kind of check in and see, consciously, you're making shifts in your life in a positive way, and it helps you kind of check in on your energetic field and see those shifts reflected.
Well, what's really interesting, not too long ago I looked at, because I'm a Reiki master and for 20 years here now, and that's a whole another program, talk about all my experiences with that. But I actually saw something on YouTube of a Reiki person doing healing on somebody and actually capturing that on camera, and the hue of green that embeds the person. And I think that's really cool so if you have Reiki, then you have the photograph done, you're going to see a total difference in your colors because that healing has occurred. Okay,
yes,
is that right?
Absolutely.
That would that's what you have, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I've actually done my own personal experiments with that. I am level 2 Reiki certified, and I practice Reiki on myself. So I did a before photo of myself. And the interesting thing with the before photo is you could see the green healing energy coming in simply because I had the intent to do Reiki following that. So I did the before photo, I did an hour of Reiki, and then I took an after photo, and there was a complete shift in, my vibration and the colors that I was emitting. And, it's definitely proof of the energetic effects of Reiki. And I actually have the before and after photos posted on my website if anybody's interested in checking that out.
What I think is interesting, because there's been many times when I've talked about positive energy on, because nobody's happy 24 hours a day, and things happen to change in your day. But the most amazing thing is that if you keep your aura or your energy high, you also can help to prevent sickness. What I've found is that if you have a weak aura, say you're depressed or different things happen, and when it's weaker, you can attract sickness to yourself, which is interesting. And the stronger it is, the healthier you are, because the wall is stronger, if you can call it. I don't think I could call it a wall because it sort of looks like fuzzy color.
Right.
But that's what I found with being positive. So mentally and emotionally being healthier is going to keep you stronger, because then you're not going to, because people always get colds and they get things when they don't feel so great. And part of that is because we don't have that strong wall or that colorful aura around you. So I also wanted to mention this too, because we're coming up to Valentine's Day, and people, a lot of people have parties and stuff, and what Kimberly does, you could have an aura photographer at your party, which would be kind of interesting, because if everybody's happy, and it would be interesting to see if your boyfriend's energy is on the same path as yours. I think that would be cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, wouldn't it? I think that. And also, I think, how interesting it would be to do like a wedding party or the bride's party too, because that's got to be really high with the bride all being in love, and it would be really, really interesting to just have that as a case study, or, oh, this is what I did and what I didn't do. And what I'm saying is that Kimberly can, she has to have advance notice, and for her to travel and set up the equipment, which is, it takes a little bit of time to do, she has to have at least 5 or 6 people, if not more, in order to do it. But I want you to keep that in mind for a gift or an occasion for the people listening, because that is something unique to do at a party or to have, and I think it's something that everybody would love. Tell our listeners, what do you have coming up this year? Where will you be?
Well, right now I have a fully updated calendar on my website of all my scheduled events, and I actually have 2 events this Saturday for Valentine's Day in the Orlando area. I'm going to be at a metaphysical shop in Lakeland called the Raven Fairy. I'll be the Raven Fairy is tomorrow, the 12th. This Saturday I will be at the Gypsy Apothecary over here in Orlando from 10 to 5, and also at Loft 55 Gallery and Boutique downtown from 6:30 to midnight. And it's funny you mentioned the bridal parties earlier, or even couples, because I will be doing couples photos where people can do sort of a photo of both of their auras together to see how their auras interact, and it should be interesting to see how people interact with each other in that way.
I think it would be interesting if a young couple getting married have this wonderful aura. Then you can put the photo up and say, "See, this is what you used to be." After you've been married a while, this is what you were nice to me then. Let's see how nice you were there. Your aura is all wonderful.
Exactly.
I just think that's interesting. So, Kimberly, is before I ask you to give out your website and your phone number, is there anything else that you'd like to add to our listeners? Anything you'd like to add that I haven't thought of asking you? Feel free.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, right now I'm working on some guided meditations that I'm hoping to have available next month to sort of help people once they are able to identify any blocks in their energetic field or certain chakras. I want to be able to provide people with a sort of guided meditation to help rebalance their chakras and sort of help fix those energetic blocks. And I'm going to be calling this the Rainbow Meditation Series with a meditation for each of the 7 main chakras. And hopefully down the line, I'm going to be creating some series for anxiety and depression and also emotional release.
So you could, in fact, with your classes, you could include, like in your fee, you could include taking a photo of the aura, then working on the issues through all the things that you mentioned, and then at the end of the sessions, take another photograph to show people how they progressed. I think that would be a wonderful idea. I think there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot that you can do. I just think that this subject is something nobody seems to talk about or know about, and you don't actually see many aura photographers at all. It shows here and there. I'll see somebody, but it's not like there's a lot. Like with readers, there's a lot of people, well, most of the time, a lot of readers at a show. But an aura photographer you'll see here and there at certain shows, and also if it fits for you too, the right type of show, because I've discovered that if it's not the right sort of show, I'm not going to do it again because it's not good for my pocket or anything else. So, Kimberly, would you give out your website information and your phone number and your email if you wish to our listeners now, if you would, please?
Yeah, so if anybody is interested in, seeing my upcoming events or, just checking out more about the camera I use, they can check out my website at auraphotoreadings.com. There's a link to the right where they can sign up for a newsletter if they're interested in staying up to date through the newsletter. And also, if anybody has any further questions, I can be reached at kim@auraphotoreader.com or on my Facebook page at facebook.com/auraphotoreader.
Okay, and also see, a lot of people, too, that I know belong to Facebook. So go on to Kim's page and like her business because, it's all good. That's what I think. Any kind of advertising is all good. And she's I met her at an expo that I did, and she's a very vibrant young woman and is very, positive in her approach and what she believes in. And I think that you won't go far wrong if you go with somebody like Kimberly because she really cares. And that is a different edge to just going and having a photograph done and thought, oh, this is fun. It is fun, but it's actually very important because you can have a saturation of one color and little of something else, and maybe you should have balance in your aura. So that's what keeps you healthy, to have balance, not to be overpowered with just one color, and that also depends on what that color means. So it's a very in-depth, interesting thing to look at, and like you're saying, you're going to do all these extensions and progress in your spiritual journey here. And I wish you all the best, Kimberly. You've been a wonderful guest. If you would like to stay on for a couple of callers, if anybody, I'm going to open up the lines now. If anybody would like to ask Kimberly a question, or if you have a question regarding this, please do. And if not, that's okay too, Kimberly. It's been a pleasure having you on the show, and it's been very interesting. And also, too, everybody, you can go into the archives and listen to this show. If you've missed any of Kim's information, or you need to, actually, if you're on a blog talk tonight on the page, Kim has her website and her phone number there, so you can get the information there if you don't go back and listen to the archives. A lot of people do, though. If they've asked a question and they forget what I told them, they'll go back and re-listen to the show. And that, yeah, I have to because I forget things.
Oh yeah.
I don't do that with my show, but if I ask something, I'll go back and listen to what somebody said to me because I know I've missed something. So anyway, I'm going to leave you online here for a bit, and if there are no questions, it's fine. So I'm going to go to my first caller with his area code 520-234. Hi.
Hi, Rosemary.
Hello. Hi, who's this?
Hi. It's Lisa calling you. Thank you for taking my call.
Oh, you're welcome. Do you have, is there something you'd like to ask Kimberly?
Well, I had a question for you, Rosemary. I wanted to say to your guest that I years ago, I mean, God, that was so many years ago when they had an oral photography, and they were right on the spot. I mean, they took it, the photo at a metaphysical church, I think, as a gift to everybody. And then they would read it, the aura, and it was so right on the spot I thought.
Mm. Yeah, I think that's interesting. Yeah, because that's not possible on the radio. I mean, it would be, if she was here and we took the photograph and then we could talk about it. So that's not really possible on the radio. But thank you for your input regarding. So, what is your question to me?
Well, tomorrow I go and do some work at a place, and I was thinking about asking them if I could trade instead of Thursday morning, switching to Friday morning, and that would lighten my personal schedule. And I'm wondering how you see that, if you see that as a positive, that it will be approved.
So you want to know, so it's like a yes or no thing. So you want to know what you're asking for regarding this job. You want to know if that's going to be approved.
Yeah, and I just want to switch from Thursday morning to go into Friday morning instead of Thursday morning, and it'll make a big difference in my life. I was just meditating on that. It'll help. I'm seeing it as relief stress, and I won't have to interact with a problem child there on Thursday morning. They exist on Friday morning. I won't have to interact with them, and it'll be less asked of me on Friday morning. A similar nature in the work, less. And then I just thought, well, maybe I should do it that way, just switch from Thursday to Friday. And
what I actually think, it's a male that you are talking to, right? It's a male person in charge.
Yeah.
He's not going to give you what you want. I'm going to tell you that. So in answer to that question, the answer is no, but it does not mean that there won't be some options on the table. Maybe it's something you haven't thought of, or something, because what you're going to hear from him is excuses. It's like if I run a store and somebody says, can I come in on Fridays instead? And then I go, well, this is the schedule, and I can't really switch it, even if I could, okay? I'm going to give all kinds of excuses why it's not going to happen. And that's what I really feel. Even whether it's fair or not is beside the point. I do feel, though, this year that there's going to be, like, a lot of releasing a burden, so to speak. This is not like the be-all and end-all. You may ask this, and the answer may be not what you want, but there is going to be other options. Your life's not going to just be a struggle here this year, and you're thinking, oh, God. It's going to ease up. You're going to have more choices than you think. It may be something you haven't thought of, or there may be another option or a different day than what you chose or what you wanted to switch to. There are options here. It's not just doom and gloom. It's like what you want exactly, the answer would be no to that. So I don't feel it's bad. I just feel like, okay, there's a flexibility with that you're not really thinking of. right now. I also see, I'm not going to spend because I spent so long with everybody, and then I want to get to everybody this show. I also see you meeting somebody or somebody traveling to you. So are you actually planning to go on a trip here soon, or is there somebody coming to see you? It's going to be somebody you're talking to. For some reason, there's some issue around family members. So I'm thinking, I don't know, but I'm thinking that it might be a family member that you'll be seeing.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Does that ring a bell?
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
So I don't know if you're making a trip, but they are, or somebody is leaving and going to see about things. But I want you to keep this in mind. It's not your responsibility to make everybody happy, okay? Other people think that it's everybody else's fault because they're not happy. It's not your responsibility to take on somebody else's soul journey. Someone doesn't want to play ball or things are not good. A lot of things are created out of your, you can't do anything about it. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're a peacemaker and you just see the reasonable side of everything, everybody else doesn't think like you, and it's not your place to try and fix it only because it's all going to fall on deaf ears. That's what, it's like talking to yourself. So it's not, you can just be the person you are, but do not take on burdens that are not of your making, if that makes sense to you. So.
Oh, it does.
I do see that.
Indeed, it does.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do it because you'll just make yourself ill with worrying about stuff, and nobody else cares. That's the awful thing. Nobody else will care if you're upset, so you don't need to be upset. I also want you to be very careful with your money here in the next couple of months. You need to just be a little frugal. It may be that you're having an expense that you're not expecting. I mean, those things can happen anytime, but that might be a reason not. You can go window shopping. See, I go into TJ Maxx, and there are shoes. I'm a shoe person. Shoes and things, and I think, now let me just think about it. I'm not so impulsive because you just never know what you need your money for. So the next couple of months, just be a little, just keep to what you need and not what you don't need, and you're going to be fine. Your year's going to work out fine for you. Okay?
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. And you have a good evening. Thank you. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Okay. My next caller is 703-409. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. What is your name?
My name is Anna Marie.
Hi, Anna Marie. Do you have a question for our aura photographer? Is there anything you'd like to add? Or ask?
No, actually, no, because I had a picture done when I first started college back in 2005, and it kind of dictated. It was asking. The picture was taken for our career path, and it said that I was in the wrong career path. And now it's years later, and I haven't had a picture done again, but the person told me I was going to end up in either project management or something that's high level, and that's exactly what I'm in, is project management. So it's kind of like, that was like, give or take 10 years. So it's like, yeah, so it really spot on. I need to take another one eventually. I see if I'm still on the same path or if I deterred.
But that's the interesting thing about aura photography, because you're making a choice. You're making a choice. It's like if I'm sick and I do nothing about being sick and I just continually be sick, and then a choice of being healthy, and in your case, what you want to do for a career or being on the right path, those are choices we make. And as we discussed earlier, you get a picture taken later, when things are flowing, then your aura is going to show up differently, and then, and you can go from there. Did you want to add anything to that, Kimberly?
Yeah. It's just like you said, it's an added awareness. We can't fix what we're not aware of. So I believe, by fully understanding our aura, we can better understand ourselves and just move forward, with that sort of consciousness and like I said earlier, just really consciously create our own reality, and choice is very much present in all of that.
Okay, so Anna Marie, what is your question for me?
Okay, my question is, I'm currently on the job market. I was laid off because my project was canceled late last end of summer going into fall, and now I'm physically ready to go back on the job market. I've been applying like crazy, and it's one company that fits me like a T. However, I haven't heard anything from them, and I was wondering, can you feel any information in regards to what's going on, as well as when I'll get called in for an interview, possibly getting employed by them?
Okay, let me just ask. All right, when you're going to get, you need to know when you're going to get a job. So let's just start with that. For Anne Marie. Okay, when you're going to start something here, I'm going to say that you're either going to start it or you're going to definitely know about it by the middle of March. There is something coming up real quick. It's not. I know we're in February now. We're sort of going into the second week of February. But the middle of March is going to be very positive to you. I do feel that this is a long-lasting job. So you need to know, you want to know if you're going to get this job that you applied for?
Yeah. Because the company that I applied for is long-lasting. Once you're in, the only way you get out is if you retire type of situation. I talked to the HR last week, but he didn't really give me any positive or negatives. It was more so of a follow-up call. So I was wondering what will end up turning.
Well, I actually don't. I think there's going to be an option. I don't think this company is. It's like, when you're biting your nails and you're waiting for a phone call and the weeks go by. I don't think they're going to jump on this at all. I really don't. I feel like it's going to be a huge change here, but I'm going to say whatever you have that's coming for you is exactly the right thing for you. For some reason, I don't think this job is going to, you may be disappointed, but I don't even know that you will be. There's another job. There's a choice of two here, and there's something that is a new key to a new door for you, a new opportunity, and the right action is being done. So if it's not this job, which I just don't feel this person is going to offer you, okay, unless they're going to offer you a different position to what you applied for or something different that you applied for, and then you could work your way up. But I don't feel like it's exactly what you want. It's like you apply for something and it doesn't feel like anybody's doing anything about it. Oh, yeah, let's call her back. She's great. Let's have this person. There's a definite change coming for you that's positive, where you're going to feel relief. You're going to get a job here that you want. But I feel that it's necessarily this one. This may be a good company, but there may be some and on here before it actually happens. Also, too, okay. I do see you in the future, and I'm going to say even within 3 years, you're going to be some kind of partner, manager, something with somebody else in a job that it's going to feel like self-employed, because I feel like you're in charge. So whatever you do, you will definitely go to the top of the ladder. There is no... I don't care where you start, you're going to have an ambitious soul here that's going to make it. And I want you to know that. So do not think that you won't, but you will make it in a way that you don't think. I think that you have a lot of backbone here, and you can do an awful lot. And you're going in the right direction no matter what's offered to you now. The opportunity is only upward and onward for you, which is really good. And you have great instincts too, which means in business you can't do better than that. Your gut feeling should listen to. If you don't feel something's right, it isn't, because you are very on the money. So I hope that helps you. That
does help, because it makes sense over a conversation that I had with my father today. because my gut is telling me, like, there's something going on in the background at this job because I applied for 4 different positions, and one of the positions I'm key for, and I think that's the one I think you're picking up that I might be getting. The other ones is kind of out of my branch of knowledge, so I'll keep my hopes up. I'll keep, plucking away at different organizations, but I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, keep it in mind, because if they don't have you, that's their loss, okay? So yours is meant for greater, bigger things down the road here. And I feel like you're going to work for it, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think you're going to be happy with what you achieve. And this is a very good year to start thinking of seeing yourself in your energy lifted higher, and I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to become that, and then I'm going to become that. You're going to be an ambitious soul here. No, everybody is. Some people are very happy working behind a counter or whatever. That's their thing, and they like it, and they're happy with it. But there's a lot more for you down the road. So I want you to keep that in mind, okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. Thank you for calling in. Okay. My next caller is area code 770356.
Hey, Rosemary.
Hi.
My name is Sherry.
Oh, your voice is very perky and.
Sorry. Is that better? Is that better?
Okay. No, it's fine.
I had it.
Stay perky.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear what you said. I had you on speaker. I didn't hear.
Okay. Do you have a question for our aura photographer? Have you ever actually had that done?
No, I haven't, and I'm very interested in listening to what everybody has said. I mean, I've had friends of mine who are gifted and tell me what they see in my aura. Like someone told me it was pink with tears, but I don't know exactly what all of that means. But I did have a question for you, Rosemary. But my question for Kimberly is, where do you go? Are you only in Florida, or do you travel?
Right now I am only in Florida. I'm in the Central Florida area. But I am mobile. I kind of go all over Central Florida, whether it's Lakeland, St. Petersburg. I live in Orlando, so I'm there quite often. But, I travel within a 3-hour radius of Orlando.
Well, I took down your website and everything, and I travel to Florida frequently. I have family in Florida, and that's where I'm from, is South Florida, like Hollywood, Miramar, down that way. So maybe on one of my trips I would.
Absolutely, yeah. If you can sign up for my newsletter if you're interested to kind of stay up to date of where I'll be, or if you just next time you come to Florida, you can check out my website and on the calendar see, what area I'll be in, and maybe we'll run into each other.
I would like that.
Great.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Rosemary, tonight is it seems to be the work thing, because that's my question.
Okay. Right.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. I've been out of work since December, and I just feel stuck in the way that I'm going, but very hopeful. Like this was the first year that I actually looking forward to something for the new year. And I've put out many resumes and applications and still waiting to hear, but there is one job that I would really, really like to have. So I'm wondering if you see that coming to me and what you see coming to me.
Okay, let me see when you get a job here. Say your first name again, sorry.
Sherry.
Okay.
Sherry.
You're funny. Okay, let me see when you're going to get a job here. Okay, now you do have to wait a little bit longer here, but please don't be despondent. There is something that you will start around the beginning of April. Now, it's likely that you'll know about it before, obviously, if you're going to go for it. And it may be one of those things that happen a lot in job interviews where they see you, then they wait 5-6 days, and then you go in for another interview. You know how that goes on.
Yes.
So I think that you obviously know about it for them, but I feel like you're going to be starting something that you're going to be really happy with around the beginning of April. This is a very good year for you, and this is tonight or today is the last day of Mercury retrograde, thank God. And it still has an overshadow because my computer wasn't working properly. I was trying to post Kimberly's bio, and that wasn't going to happen today. And I just explained it to her before we came on the air. So I thought, oh, great, it's still Mercury retrograde, and that's usually a lot less by now. But most people will see an easing up and less frustration now as the weeks go on. I'm going to say that because it won't be as frustrating as it has been in this last 2 or 3 weeks. Let me just see about your job here. I do see you okay for money. I also feel like somebody either will leave you money or, and I don't want to be morbid here, but there's something going on here where there is a chunk of change coming to you. Let me ask when that is. When is Kimberly going to get this money that I'm looking at?
Sherry, not Kimberly.
Okay.
Kimberly getting the money. Kimberly, you
split it with me. I'll take some money.
I'm sorry. No, it's because I'm talking to Kimberly. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Well, okay, I'm going to blame it on retrograde, not on my brain. There is some money coming to you here. I'm going to say it's between the end of May and the latest, the beginning of July. Now, I don't want to say it's through a death, but if it was, I'm just going to give that to you. Don't be upset. It's like there's something that's going to come to you. I don't see you devastated or anything like that. So if there's something that somebody could leave you or help you out with, I do see money coming to you, so it's fine. I do feel that regarding your finances, I know you're tired of paying out. So that is the legal papers or contracts and getting work is going to come your way. The other thing, I want you to take the job that you're going to be offered. It's not going to be as much pay as you imagine, but it's going to increase. You know how you have an idea of, this is what I want to earn or what I want to do, and they pay a certain thing. I do feel like within a short time, whatever their probation, I think it's like 90 days, that there's an increase for you to what you want. It's like you prove yourself, and then they're going to give you more money. I don't think it's bad. I think it's good. I see papers, contracts, work contracts just flowing along, and you being happy with it all. It's like the right action, if you know what I mean. I think it's really, really good. So I don't think it's bad at all. And it's a big opportunity. Yeah.
Okay, good, because it's something that I'll just tell you. It's I put in for a crime scene investigation, and I had gone to college. Well, I started college, a year of it. I never finished it. But a police officer friend of mine was like, Sherry, I've already spoken to the lieutenant. Just put your application in. And I'm like, how am I ever going to get that job when I don't have the experience? But he's like, just put it in. They train you. And that is my heart's desire, is to do that. I mean, that's what I started school for. And I either, I want to do that leading into maybe criminal profiling, something like, I am an intuitive, but that for us, we can't read ourselves. That's why I'm asking you.
Right.
But
exactly.
I don't want it to be another retail job or something like that. I want this to be my career, and that's what I'm like very anxious about, is being at this point in my life for everything that I've gone through. It's like I'm holding my breath, waiting for like my life and my career to begin. So I was just wondering, is this going to be the job for me? Can I be hopeful about it?
I think it is. I think it is because like I just said, you're going to, after the training period or whatever, you'll be paid more because you'll be, you know what I'm saying? I see you doing something that you'll get more for, and I do feel that you're going to get what you want. I don't feel this is something like, oh, God, I had to take this because there was nothing. I don't feel that. But I do feel like it's going to rock and roll around April. I really do. But it's just it's a little bit longer than you expect because you've already waited long enough. You and the whole world, I'm going to tell you that. We all do not like the word patience, me included. I don't like having to wait all the time for everything, but this will be worth it. And it's almost like a destiny thing for you, too. This is a destiny thing. It's like it's not just because you want it, it's because it's what's meant to be for you as well. And that's really important. I don't see you having any problems. I see the whole thing flowing like you want it to flow. And I think you know that in your gut. So I just want you to hang on and know that the sunshine is at the end of the tunnel here, that it's going to happen. I think it's good. I think you're going to get your opportunity, but it's not the same pay as when you're trained. So that makes sense to me now you said that.
Yeah, I don't mind that as long as it's the foot in the door, the career to get to where I want to be. And I know it's going to take hard work. And I do want to be able to prove myself in that. It's like you said, I just don't want to settle for some kind of retail job or something that I know I'm going to be miserable at. I just left a retail job, and it's like that. I didn't want to do it. It's something that I can do. I'm good with sales, but that's not what I want my career to be. So I'm hanging in there and hoping my unemployment doesn't run out before I get a job. So I'm happy to hear you say you're going to be okay money-wise.
Yeah, you're going to be all right. But there's also some money coming from somewhere else, too. So, and I don't know how much, because people ask things like, is it the lottery or whatever. Nobody, if I actually knew that, I wouldn't be working anything. I'd be having the money and what do I always wanted to do with it? So it doesn't, maybe it's something offensive spiritually to expect the lottery numbers or something, but so I don't know. I just know there's some other money coming to you, and this is going to turn out to be a very good year for you. I think you're going to like it, and you're going to be happier. The beginning of this year, and it's not just you, the beginning of this year from January, it was very frustrating energy. I think a lot of people just thought, oh, great, it's January. It wasn't, oh, great, it's the new year. It was like, oh, it's January and same old. And it's not been particularly good energy. And then we had the Mercury retrograde, which was incredibly irritating to me, as it usually is. I try not to think about it. Oh, God, I get so irritated because I know that when things go wrong, I think, oh, yeah, that's right, it's Mercury retrograde.
Yeah.
So, and now that's ended, most people will see a huge change around the summertime anyway, into lightning. Everything will feel lighter and more uplifting. So it's going to be a pretty good year anyway. It's an 8 year. It's about money. It's about career. And the 8 is an infinity sign. Also, if you turn it horizontal,
and that's
and
my
you'll
favorite
find
number.
that whatever you start, and it flows. Whatever it is, it means it flows, and it's going to keep flowing, and there's no break. It's a constant flow. So I think whatever you desire and what you move forward on is what this year is going to give you back. You're going to get what you want. I mean, and please don't anybody call in and ask me if the boyfriend is going to be with them, because if they're not supposed to be, they're not going to be, even if you want it. It's like, oh, yeah, this is like we're coming into Valentine's, and there'll be more problems with the boyfriend that didn't call or didn't give them the chocolates or something than you can shake a stick at. And really, who cares? Somebody who loves you. It's like, don't waste your time on people that don't call you and all that stuff. That's what I want to say. But anywho, thank you so much for calling in. I kind of gave up on that. Well,
I'm focusing on the career.
You know what I think? When you don't dwell on something anymore, then it sort of happens. When you could care less is when it happens. I'll tell you a quick story. Years and years ago, I'm going back a lot of years here. I used to live over on Nursery Road, which is a ways from here. And I remember waking up one morning. I didn't have any milk, and just around the corner from that place was like a little convenience store, and the milk's always more expensive, you know that. So I thought, to hell with that, I have to have milk in my tea. So I literally had on a T-shirt that looked like it needed ironing, no makeup, hair scraped up in a knot. I mean, I looked horrible, and somebody actually hit on me in the grocery store. And I'm like, oh, my God, you got to be kidding me. I look terrible. I mean, like as in, like I just jumped out of bed and needed to go and get milk. So who knows what is attractive to somebody. So I think with the romantic thing, do not be surprised if you do not be involved in some way within your work area. You're going to work very closely with people, and they're going to be people with a twinkle in your eye. I'm not saying it's the first one, but there's going to be a little hot breathing there in the workplace.
Alrighty, sounds good to me.
I'm laughing. You're not laughing. Okay, I'm laughing about it, but you can't. You got to be careful when you work with people. But
right.
I think it's going to be. I would not be surprised if you didn't end up with somebody in the same field as you. To be honest. Okay.
I'm open to the possibilities. I am. I'm very hopeful for this year. So. I have a name for you.
So
I don't know if this means anything, but I get the dead people that want to talk. James, does that name mean anything to you?
What name?
James.
You know what? You're not the first person that has said that to me. And it's not. My brother died, and his name was Francis. Is this somebody who's on the other side called James?
Yes, I think so. Well, it's different for me. Either they will give me a name to connect here first, somebody who's living, and then I get the name of the person that's deceased. So all I keep hearing in my head with you is James, James, James. So it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody who's deceased, but a connection for a James.
Yeah, I think that's a romantic connection, and my attitude is I could care less. And people have told me that, and I go, yeah, I could care less, thanks very much, whatever. And you know what? And I'm like that, too. That's not my be-all and end-all, because for me, probably like you, I had to have somebody spiritually connected, somebody who loves animals, somebody who's into the environment. I have to have somebody who actually cares about the world we live in. And, you don't always meet those kind of people. They may look good, but they're not on the same page mentally as me, and it's not good for me. So if I'm going to meet a James, I'm assuming that he has a lot of the qualities that I'm looking for. Otherwise, it's going to be a no-go. So
true.
Anyway,
I'm the same way. You have to get me mentally. Thank you so much.
I have to be impressed. Oh, you're so welcome.
Thank you. I enjoyed it. And what's that?
Oh, you're welcome. Well, I'm just going to give out my website. Well, sorry.
Okay, wait. Let me do it this way so I can enter. I'm doing the phone thing, so I don't have paper and pen in front of you. But please do. Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm fine. I was going to give up my website, which is apparently not www anymore because Google dropped it. So it's just rosemaryfox.com, and my phone number is 727-524-1010. And that's it. And Kimberly, do you want to give out your website again for anybody that's joined us here in the queue that hasn't been listening?
Yes, absolutely. My website is www.auraphotoreadings.com. And then I'm also available on Facebook on facebook.com/auraphotoreader.
Let me see who we got. Oh, 561-333. Hello.
Hi, Rosemary. It's Kelly Jo. How are you?
Oh, hey, darling. Okay, this is a very fabulous. Everybody listening is Kelly Jo. She's been on my show. She's going to come on my show. I think aren't you coming on March 18th?
Yes.
Yeah, and she's awesome. So I have no idea why you would call me.
I was giving you support and listening.
Oh, okay, that's so sweet of you. Now, if you're listening and you want an awesome reading, you can go back in the archives and listen to the show when I had Kelly Jo on, and you will be impressed. So how sweet of you. Thank you so much. So. Yeah, because I'm like, this is a woman that she knows. You can't fool her. She knows. So how's been your day? Let me ask you that. Have you had a good day?
My day has been good.
Mine's sort of been irritating today. I have to say that it was irritating. Kimberly that I have on the show here, I tried to do her bio and it wouldn't go. Then I had to call Blog Talk and then it still didn't work. And in the end, I said a few choice words and I just put up a couple of lines and that actually worked. I just was like, okay, whatever. And yeah, it's like the last day of Blog Talk, so. But not Blog Talk, Mercury retrograde. And I thought, yeah, they're still like a shadow. And also, too, in Florida, we're going to have freezing cold Sunday, too, aren't we? The weekend's going to be really cold.
Into the 20s. It's going to get really cold.
It's not going to be, it's going to be nasty weather, I know. So do you have a question for Kimberly about aura photography?
No, I just called because I've had it done before. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And what's fun to do, Kimberly, is if you're with readers, take a picture of them before they read, and then after they read, they look like fireworks.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. Actually, I have had a few readers come through, and, they just have that open channel, and it's very cool to see it, physically on a photograph like that.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think so. I had it done many years ago, but I didn't know. It was a picture with it all around me, but I've had the other one done too, which was like, it was more like a chart with all my colors on. It was more like, it wasn't an actual picture of me. It was a chart and I had streaks of thing. I kind of looked like an Indian. It was all streak of yellow through the middle and then turquoises and pink around the feet. It was kind of interesting. So I haven't had that done in years and years. Yeah. I know it's fun, though. But I think it's fun to do a party with that.
Oh, yeah. Or a party. Yep.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Now, what kind of camera do you use, Kimberly? You use the old Polaroid with the film, or do you use the computer?
Yeah. I'm using the Coggins Auracam 3000, which is the version with the Polaroid film, which I actually prefer. I think it's a little cooler personally, but they do have an updated version which connects to the computer as well.
I like the old-fashioned one better.
Yeah, me too. We're on the same page.
I think it does prettier colors and it's cooler.
I agree. Yeah. So is yours the more old-fashioned one?
What's that?
Is yours the more old-fashioned one, Kimberly?
Yes, yeah, they do have like I said, a newer version that connects to the computer. But it's all personal preference, and it's whatever's going to allow you to get the information you need is all that matters.
Now, do yours have the hand plate too?
Yes. Yeah, there's 2 hand sensors, and that's how it reads your energetic field.
Yeah, because I had a girlfriend that did that too. That's how I know about it, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I hope you do well with but do you put parties on your website? Because people love to do that.
Oh, yeah, that's something I'm offering and hoping to get people interested in.
And what was your website on Facebook, Kimberly?
Okay. On Facebook, I'm the Aura Photo Reader, so it's just facebook.com/Aura Photo Reader.
That way people can find you.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And you have to make friends with me, too, so I can make your page.
Yes.
That would be a good idea. Kelly, are you doing Candace's show on the 21st of March?
On the 26th, yes. I'm doing the other show there, at the Joey Giggle show, and I'm going to be doing readings on that.
No, I'm talking about Candace's psychic fair in
the 21st
Naples.
of March. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm looking at my people up here on the board. There's a 941 number, which I believe is either Sarasota or Naples. So I like to mention that, even though I don't need to mention it yet. I just think, oh, yeah, we're going to be at Etudes de Ballet in Naples on the 21st of March. And Kelly Jo will be there, and I will be there. And she always has amazing stuff, gems and all kinds of stuff. Candace's shows are awesome. And I wish I could say that about everything.
I just did one of her shows in Melbourne. Yeah, it was really good.
Oh, I met you
but her Naples shows. Yeah, her Naples shows have really been going for years and years and years, and they have such a great following of people, because I've done it when it's been tipping down with rain, and you think, oh, great, what a day, and people are lining up out the door. Now, in Florida or anywhere, nobody goes out if it's raining. Nobody wants to drive, and it was a really bad rainy day. I think it was last year. And I thought, oh, great. And it was still a good day. It was still pretty good. People love her shows, and they come to them. So that show, I know the Melbourne one was good, but I never did it. That was her first show at that one. But I know the Naples shows are excellent. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, darling, I am going to get off now and take the next couple callers. And I love you, and thank you for calling in. And I'll be talking to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye, darling. Okay. Let me see. We have area code 562698.
Hello. Hi, Rosemary.
Hi.
Hi, this is Cheryl. This is Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl. So, Cheryl, do you have anything that you'd like to ask Kimberly, regarding aura photography? Have you ever had it?
I've never had aura photography done. The only aura I've ever had is I had a birthday one year, and they captured aura around me and a photograph, but I've never had aura photography. It was kind of weird. My sister sent it to me, and I said, well, what is that glow around me? Because it was just a regular camera. So I don't know, that was a little confusing, but I've never had an aura photography, a picture taken other than that. I think you need a special camera for aura photography, no?
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like what you may have experienced is, I've heard of orbs showing up in, just a regular, ordinary point-and-shoot camera.
Right. So, I don't know. It was my birthday. I was blowing out my candles. So, that was kind of,
Oh, how cool.
So, I don't know. Lisa said somebody was with you. I was like, I hope it's someone good. So, but anyway, that's the only experience I had. I never had, or I've seen them before, but I've never had it done. Mm-hmm. Maybe I should explore that next time and just try it out.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out.
Because I never knew very much about it.
Well, you might have something special going on there, because I remember a reader, this is years ago, had aura photography done, and instead of just the colors and everything, it was like just a head and shoulders thing. She actually had faces behind her. There were faces from spirit. Now that is a very rare thing to happen, I think. And that was kind of cool. And I saw the pictures, and there were actual faces behind her. Now, I don't know if they were angelic or if they were relatives or whatever. I don't know more about that. But if your aura shows up like that, you might be surprisingly good for this. This might be, all kinds of things. You just don't know. It might be different. It might be cool for you to do. It's a pity.
Okay.
Where do you live? Where do you live?
I live in California.
Oh, no, that's no good. Because Kimberly, she can't fly up there. So unless you're going to give her like $3,000 and she'll come and do it.
Oh, absolutely then.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay, so where's your question? What is your question for me?
Okay, I've been talking to the insurance company, and they're reviewing my medical case for surgery, and I'm wondering if they'll authorize the surgery that I'm requesting.
Are you dealing with who is your immediate person? Is it a woman?
I am talking to a woman. She's the appeals analyst.
Okay.
But then she sends it to someone, and I don't know who's making the decisions.
I think it's a male making this decision. I think the answer is yes. I'm just going to check on that. Are you going to have? We want to know if you're going to have the surgery that you asked for, right?
Yes, I've been wanting this for a long time.
Yeah, you're going to get it. You're going to have it. I'm getting the number 7, but I really want to make sure. When is she going to have it this year? Yeah, I think it's going to be, it may be July or August. I'm not altogether sure. It's around about that time frame. If that is good with you, that's when it's going to be. I feel like there's a reason to be happy here, and that would not mean that you didn't get what you wanted. I feel like that you're going to get what you want. I feel there's a little bit of silence here where you won't know, what's going on. Nobody's calling you, and then you'll hear. Then it's just going to be fine. I feel like she is going to she's going to pull out all the stops to make sure this happens. And she has to deal with that. She has to deal with people that, difficult. It's a man. What can I tell you?
So this is. I'm going to find out. When am I going to find out? Because I know that there's a process in preparing and getting ready for it. So that might take a couple of months. So when do I actually get the word that it's a go?
I actually think, I'm not sure about the word, but the go to actually what you said about a couple of months, I do feel it's going to be, I'm saying July or August, but my first letter in my head was 7. So it's probably going to be around May. Maybe you'll hear in April and then get prepared in May and June. It's soon.
Oh.
It's not, it's not. Yeah, it's soon.
Okay, because I just faxed her the last of my paperwork. I had to send her all kinds of medical records proving this and proving that. And so they're going to have to review and sit on it for who knows how long before they decide a yes or a no. And I'm just sitting here on the edge of my chair waiting for my yes or no.
Well, I think that she's going to go toe-to-toe for you. I think that you're going to it's going to be successful, but it's the usual protocol thing where somebody has to go through whomsoever to approve this. But the answer for me to you is yes. It's going to happen, and it's all going to flow. And, is it in March? No, but I do feel that you'll hear something. I'm more likely, you may hear something before that, and then you may have, I feel like there's a moment or a couple weeks of silence here where you don't hear anything, and then you're going to hear a final result, and then there'll be a date planned, and then you'll be able to do this. But I do feel it's more the latter half of the summer.
Okay, so I hear a yes in March, and then the preparation, and then all you have to do to get ready, and then the surgery is actually in July. Okay. Okay, that's when I actually...
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be in March. I just feel like it might be around earlier. But then there's a waiting time, and then they're going to tell you, okay, we're going to start blah, blah, blah now. But I feel like the communication is not as good as it should be. It's still sort of leaving you up in the air. It's like somebody calling you and saying, well, the paperwork's in and it looks good and everybody's happy, and then nothing. And then you get a phone call. Do you understand what I'm saying? So don't be frustrated.
Yeah.
It's just a process thing. Yeah, it's just a process. I don't feel the answer's no at all. I really don't.
Okay. And the surgeon I've chosen is really good?
I would think so if it's going to be successful. The person you chose is, I think it's fine. I think it's going to flow. I just feel like the frustration of everything or the waiting game that's the thing. But I feel this woman is on your side, so to speak. She's tough. She's a tough cookie. She is going to get it done.
Okay. You pick up anything general around me?
I really can, because I made a pact here that I'm gonna end my show on time today. Only because, and I said this earlier at the show, I went over half an hour when I
and
did
people
another
don't
show
appreciate
here.
it. I know they don't
I had
appreciate
somebody write
it.
me a really nasty letter too. And
yeah,
and you know what?
there's jerks in the world, and you can't let them get you down. You know, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, you're welcome. You can call me again. It's fine. We'll just call another day. But I know it's because the time goes so quickly. So I'm going to let you go. I have a Skype number next. It always intrigues me. So I wish you the best and take care. And I think that's going to be fine. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate that too. Thank you.
And
Bye-bye.
shame on the person who writes nasty notes. Shame on them. I hope I shamed them. Okay. They should be so lucky. Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye. All right. So here we go. It's a 11111 number.
Hi.
I'm always fascinated with that. Okay, so where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Argentina. And
wow.
I want to say that I do listen to the archives if I don't call in, and I truly do appreciate you. I think you're really an awesome individual. You lead by example, and there have been times when I have called, and you have been spot on with what you have told me, and that needs to be expressed.
Well, thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. And that's kind of, Argentina always seems to me like a really exotic, like an exotic place. Because this is a past life thing for me, but I've always liked men that have that dark hair and that olive skin and all this stuff. I've been attracted to Italians and Spanish and you name it, okay? And it's a past life. It's not what I grew up with. It definitely wasn't what I grew up with. So I have this thing about like Argentina seems like romantica, and I'm sure that the men there are very old school too, where the women are. I don't know. I think the women are feisty. The men get their own way in those countries more than the women.
The men are very seductive. An Argentine man is very seductive. I will tell you that. I honestly will tell you that. And right now it's scalding hot, whereas in the States it's freezing. Totally opposite. Our summer is July and August. No, our summer is now. July and August is our winter. When you have summer, it's our winter.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even realize that. I know that in some places in the world, but I didn't know that about Argentina. So that's okay. So some lady told me earlier that I was going to meet somebody called James. So maybe it's Argentina if you're listening up there. I'm just messing. Okay, darling. What is your question?
No, I don't. I just wanted to call to say what I just said. I don't have a question. I don't. I
hope you will have a really blessed year because it is a very, very good year anyways for most people. And it is going to be a good year if you're thinking it and put it into action. I could tell somebody you're going to have a great year and they're supposed to look for a job and they sit and watch TV every day and don't do it. I mean, it doesn't mean... No, you know what I mean. I'm not God, and I can't conjure up miracles. But if you plant a seed and that's what you want, you can make it happen. Does it happen right away for people? Not all the time. That's the problem with being impatient, and I know that I am too. I expect everything yesterday. The years go by, and you think, oh, God, I'm not getting any younger, and when's this going to happen, and when's that going to happen? And let me see if Kelly Jo is still, she's still listening. And Kelly Jo and I need a new car, absolutely. We both need a new car. No, I'm going to tell you that. No, we do. I have a car that's 10 years old, but has 200,000 miles on it almost, okay?
Oh, that's
and
wonderful.
I don't like... but I don't like debt. It's a Nissan. By the way, Nissans are some of the best cars. I have to say that. This thing's been through thick and thin. But, it's stuff like that, and I put it out to the universe. Maybe that's not what comes first, but I'm thinking, okay, God, I need a new car, okay? I'm not being greedy. I just want a new car. So,
and you deserve a new car.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And have a bit. Oh, I want to mention this too while I'm talking here. I have a bit of time. The Chinese New Year is on the 19th of February. It is not like our celebrations, which are usually basically drunken binges. I'm very respectful. Our celebrations, people go crazy. But I don't. I usually stay on New Year's. But the Chinese New Year is the 19th. And the Chinese New Year, I think it's the goat sheet. That's what they called it this year. And I've always respected and honored it. And I actually had a friend send me like a little red envelope with $1 in it for prosperity. And I'm going to put the envelope on the left side of the door inside my door to bring money towards me. And I used to go to, and I don't know because the people live too far away, used to go to Chinese New Year's parties where we had little paper people and paper houses. We would write people's name on them. You wanted them to have prosperity and your home and your business and all that on all the little houses. And then you would burn it in a bonfire outside, and then you'd eat all different Chinese food. And it was very respectful. It's a very honorable tradition, the Chinese New Year. So I've always honored it, and I always remember it. I always want to know, that's when their New Year starts. So, and also, too, anything to do with money, I'm trying to think what else they do. Anything to do with money or prosperity or good luck coins, go to a Chinese supermarket and buy like a good luck coin and wish upon it for the New Year. I just have a thing about the Chinese New Year. So, yeah. So I wanted to just say that because I've forgotten that.
Well, I'm going to project that you will have, soon, you're going to have the means to get a brand new car. No debt, a brand new car. No
I
debt.
would actually like that. But yeah, I think you
deserve it. You will get it. Yeah, you deserve it. Somehow.
She deserves it, too. This is a very hard-working lady. She's going to be on my show on the March 18th. And I'm looking forward to having her back on because she's a straight shooter. And besides, when she's on the show, I don't say too much, which is great. Right. I actually have a rest because she just answers it. So it's just like, oh, good, okay, good, which is not the case usually. I'm usually doing what I'm doing now, talking a lot. Kimberly, she's still online. She's been a great guest, yes. And you're a very eloquent speaker too. Kimberly, very lovely young lady who's going to go far, and I want you to have all the blessings that you can have, because I think Orlando, she lives in Orlando, Wake Up Orlando, you have Kimberly there, go have your photo done, invite her to your house, whatever, because I think I lived in Orlando like 20-something years ago, and it's grown and grown and grown. It's very touristy. There's just so much to do there, and it's at least hopping. It's very sleepy here. I live 10 minutes from the beach here, which is great, but it's not hopping like Orlando. So the opportunities there, Kimberly. So anywho, let me see if I've got somebody else I've neglected. No, people drop off when I talk to you. Actually, they dropped off. Some people dropped off when I said at the beginning of the show that was going to end the show at 8:30 tonight, instead of going on and on. And people don't like that. They're like, oh, she's not going to get to me. Well, that's okay. You can't be that desperate. Or I think, all right, it's not meant to be.
I'll if you want to get somebody else, because I don't have a question, so you could just turn to someone else. Yeah, there are 3 minutes left, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to Kimberly and thank her for being on the show because she's been wonderful. Yeah, and you can listen in the archive because it was very interesting what she had to say about the photography, and I think
you want to listen to that.
The better that we know about things and the better educated we are, the better we are in the world. Being ignorant is not a joy. So I just think it's good to learn stuff. And that was interesting to me because I didn't know too much about it. I mean, I've had one done, but I don't know and I do know it's energy, but I didn't know that you could have it done and then heal yourself or whatever ails you and then have it done again. Of course it changes. I never even actually thought about that, and that would be very therapeutic for somebody wanting to do
wonderful.
That.
So that means if one has an ailment, I think I'm a little concerned about my husband because we just found out something and we're just exploring it, that with this type of auric photography, that could possibly heal the area that's afflicting him?
Well,
no.
If you are doing some sort of healing, you can see the effects, but the actual photography itself does not do any healing.
Okay. So you take an auric, a photograph of the person's aura. Oh, I see. Mm-hmm. But could you see the area that's afflicted through this auric photography?
Yeah, it's very much possible because the aura is containing information, of our physical well-being as well as our emotional, spiritual, and mental well-being. So, if we do have an issue in any of those areas, it just show up.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm going to listen to the archives then. I really am. And explore this because I want my husband healthy, happy, and rich.
Absolutely,
he's going to get better. He's going to get better, and it's going to be a slow process. It's going to be like in 2-3 month increments. You're going to see an improvement. He's not going to die. There's nothing like that at the end of it. He's going to get better. So you are going to see that. So you're going to see a much healthier husband by the end of the year. So you're going to be good. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really called in to congratulate you and to tell you how honorable you are. I didn't have a question initially, but when I want to listen to the archive. Thank you so much for having these wonderful people, because I listened to the astrologer last week, and I listened to someone else the other day. It's wonderful. Thank you so much for all that you do for us. Truly, thank you very much, Rosemary. And have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. And a great Valentine's Day, ladies.
Yes, you too.
Oh, yeah, I have a Valentine, but it's from my friend's baby, from her daughter, who's about 4 months old. And you know what? That's so sweet. That is so sweet. Yeah, I got it today. So
that's an angel.
You have a wonderful day. Okay.
Thank you. Thank
you. You're welcome. Okay, so Kimberly, just give out your website and your information once again, if you would, please.
Yes, absolutely, yes. People can find me through my website at auraphotoreadings.com. I'm also available through email. If people have questions, they can reach me at kim@auraphotoreader.com, or they can reach out to me on Facebook at facebook.com/auraphotoreader.
Okay, and so anybody wants to have my phone number, it's 727-524-1010, and you can find me on rosemaryfox.com. And I want to wish you, Kimberly, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure having you. Yeah, and our listeners really enjoyed it, too, because they listened to what you had to say, and like that last lady who was very sweet, is going to go back and listen to what you have to say. And I hope you get customers from this. I hope your career is going to grow, and just hang in there. I think you're a lovely young lady. I'm sure I'm going to run into you somewhere.
Absolutely,
and it's been a pleasure having
we kind of become a community.
Well, we had a good time tonight, and it was great. So now you can tell people you've been on the radio for what it's worth.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
You're welcome, and it was a pleasure having you. So that's it, folks, for tonight, and thank you for tuning in. And next week I will not be on Wednesday. I will be on Tuesday, because I'm not going to be available Wednesday night. And I look forward to talking. It'll probably be new people, because they'll think, where did this come from? It's going to be on Tuesday. And that's it. So good night, everyone, and take care, and God bless.